That'll do, Tom. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
What other troubles have you had with the law?
30 days for disorderly conduct, sir.
Must have been disorderly. What did it consist of?
Got in a fight with another man, tried to cut me, sir.
Did he succeed?
Yes, sir. Not enough to hurt. See,
Yes, were you both convicted?
Yes, sir. I couldn't pay the fine. Other fellow paid his.
You?
Yes, sir. I had to pass by a place to go to and from the field.
Whose field?
Mr. Link Diaz.
Asked you a place to and from work. Is there any other way to go?
No, sir. Not that I know of.
Tom, did she ever speak to you?
Why, yes, sir. I walked by and I tipped my hat to her. One day she asked me to come inside the fence to bust up a shiffer robe for her.
Asked you to chop the sugar robe?
Mr. Finch, it was last spring and I remember because it was chopping time. And I had my hoe with me. She gave me a hatchet. I broke up shiffer robe and she said, I reckon I'll have to give you a nickel. I said, no ma'am. That was last spring, Mr. Finch, way over a year ago.
Place again?
Yes, sir.
When?
Well, lots of times.
Circumstance.
Lisa,
Why'd you go inside the fence lots of times?
she called me in, sir. Every time I passed by yonder, she had something for me to do. Chopping, kindling, totting water. For her, she wanted them flowers every day.
Were you paid for your services?
No, sir, not after she offered me a nickel the first time. I was glad to do it. Mr. Ewell didn't seem to help none, and the children, I know she didn't have any nickels to spare.
Where were the other children?
It was all around, all over the place. Some of them would watch me work. Some of them would look at me through the window.
Did Miss Mayella ever talk to you?
Yes, sir, she talked to me.
Did you ever, at any time, set on the Ewell property? Did you ever set foot on the Ewell property without an express invitation from one of them?
No, sir, I wouldn't do that.
What happened on the night of November 21st of last year?
Mr. Finch, I was going home that evening as usual. But when I passed by the Ewell place, Miss Mayella was on the porch. Like she said she were. Seemed real quiet like. And I didn't know quite why. I was studying why, just passing by when she said for me to come there and help her a minute. Well, I went inside the fence and I looked around for some kindling to work on, but I didn't see none. And she says, nah, I got something for you to work on in the house. The old door's off its hinges and fall's coming pretty fast. I said, you got a screwdriver, Miss Mayella? She said, sure had, and well, I went up the steps and she motioned for me to come inside. And I went in the front door and looked at the hinges was all right. And I said, Miss Mayella, this door looks all right. I pulled it back and forth, and it was so quiet like it had come to me. There weren't any children on the place. Mr. Finch, I was wondering why. Not one of them. And I said, Miss Mayella, where are all the children? She says, sort of laughing, she says, they'd all gone to town for some ice cream. She said it took her a slap a year to save them nickels, but she'd done it. They all gone to town.
What'd you say then, Tom?
I said something like, Miss Mayella, that's right smart of you to treat him. But I don't think she understood me. See, I meant it was smart of her to save like that, and nice of her to treat him.
I understand you, Tom. Go on.
Well, I said, best be going, 'cause I couldn't do nothing for her. And she says, yes, I could. And I asked her what. She said, step on that chair yonder and reach for the box on top of that shiffer rope. I done what she told me and just reached, and when the next thing I knew, she grabbed me around the legs. She grabbed me around the legs, Mr. Finch. She scared me so bad I hopped down and turned the chair over. That was the only thing. Only furniture disturbed in that room, swear for God.
What happened after the chair turned over? Tom, you swore to tell the truth. Will you tell it? What happened after that, Tom?
Answer the question.
Mr. Finch, I got down off that chair, turned around, and she sort of jumped on me.
Jumped on you? Violently?
No, sir. She held me around the waist.
Order! Order in the court!
She reached up, kissed me on the side of my face. She said she never kissed a grown man before. She might as well kiss an N-word. She says that her papa don't count. She says, kiss me back, N-word. I say, Miss Mayella, let me out of here. And try to run. But she got her back to the door, and I had to push her. I didn't want to do that to her. I didn't want to hurt her, Mr. Finch. And I said, let me pass. But just when I say it, Mr. Ewell hollered through the window.
What did he say?
Something not been said, not fit for these women and children here.
What did he say, Tom? You must tell the whole truth.
I'm sorry. He says, you goddamn whore. I'll kill you.
Then what happened?
Mr. Finch, I was running so fast, I don't know what happened.
Did you rape Mayella Violet Ewell?
No, sir. I did not, sir.
Did you harm her in any way?
I did not, sir.
Did you resist her advances?
Mr. Finch, I tried. I tried and thought being ugly to her. I didn't want to be ugly. I didn't want to have to push her or nothing.
Tom, go back once more to Mr. Ewell. Did he say anything to you?
Not anything, sir. He might have said something, but I weren't there.
That'll do. What did you hear? Who was he talking for?
Mr. Finch, he was talking and looking at Miss Mayella.
Then you ran?
I sure did, sir.
Why did you run?
I was scared, sir.
Why were you scared?
Mr. Finch, if you was an N-word like me, you'd be scared too.
Go ahead, Mr. Gilmore.
So, says here you were given 30 days for disorderly conduct.
Yes, sir.
What did the N-word look like when you were done with him?
He beat me, sir.
Yes, but you were convicted, weren't you?
Misdemeanor. It's in the record, Judge.
Witness will answer though.
Yes, sir. I got 30 days.
You're pretty good at busting up shift robes and killing them with one hand, aren't you, Robinson?
Yes, sir. I reckon so.
Strong enough to choke the breath out of a woman and sling her to the floor?
I've never done that, sir.
But you're strong enough to, aren't you?
I reckon so.
Had your eye on her a long time, ain't you, boy?
I never looked at her.
Then when you were mighty polite to do all that work for her?
I was just trying to help her out, sir.
Mighty generous of you. You had chores at home after your regular work, didn't you?
I've done them both, sir.
You must have been pretty busy. Why?
Why what, sir?
Why were you so anxious to do that woman's chores?
Well, I felt right sorry for her. She seems to try more than the rest of them.
You felt sorry for her? Then you say she's lying, boy?
I ain't saying she's lying, Mr. Gilmer. I'm saying she's mistaken in her mind.
Mr. Ewell run you off the property, boy?
No, sir, I don't think he did.
Don't think. What do you mean?
I mean, I didn't stay long enough for him to run me off.
You're very candid about this. Why did you run so fast?
Fix like that.
But you weren't in a fix. You testified that you resisted Miss Ewell. Why'd you run? A big buck like you, scared she was gonna hurt you?
No, sir, I was scared I was gonna have to be in court, just like I am now.
Scared of arrest? Scared of what you had to face up to what you did?
No, scared I have to face up to something I didn't do. She kissed me. On the face.
Oh, Lord!
Bring all those boys together and they're like my cake.
Don't take no